Alex Rivera stepped off the plane and into Seoul's Incheon airport, heart pounding with a mix of excitement and fear. He was 27, full of dreams, but empty of real connection. He had moved to South Korea for work, chasing something new, something different. But reality hit harder than he expected. The streets were loud, the signs unfamiliar. People passed him by without a second glance. And as days turned into weeks, Alex realized something no one warned him about. Loneliness doesn't care about language. It finds you anywhere, even in a city full of millions. He struggled with basic Korean phrases, felt out of place in crowded markets, missed his dog back home more than he cared to admit. At night, he lay awake in his small apartment, staring at the ceiling. He told himself this was temporary, that he'd adjust, make friends, build a life. But deep down, he felt invisible, like he didn't quite belong, like he was just surviving, not living. One evening, after skipping meals for days and pushing through another exhausting shift at work, Alex collapsed. No warning, no dramatic fall, just sudden weakness, darkness, then waking up in a hospital bed, confused and disoriented. A nurse stood beside him, speaking quickly in Korean. He barely understood a word. Then she stepped aside and she walked in. Dr. Minju Park, tall, calm, sharp eyes that softened slightly when they met his. She checked his vitals, then looked at him carefully. "You're okay," she said slowly, deliberately. Her English wasn't perfect, but her presence was. She smiled faintly. "You need rest," she added. "And food." Alex gave a weak nod. Minju sat beside him, not like a doctor, but like someone who saw him, really saw him. And for the first time in months, Alex felt something shift. Not love yet, not even close, but comfort, connection, hope, because someone finally noticed he was struggling. Alex didn't sleep well that night. The hospital room felt too quiet, the lights too bright. His body was weak, but his mind raced with questions. Who was she? Why did she stay so long after her shift ended? And why did her voice feel like home when everything else felt foreign? The next morning, Dr. Minju Park returned, a warm smile on her face, a small bowl in her hand. She sat beside him and placed it on the tray table. "Breakfast," she said gently. "You need strength." Alex looked at the food, rice porridge, soft and steaming. He smiled slightly. "Thanks." Minju nodded. Then she studied him carefully. "You not from here?" she asked. Alex shook his head. "Chicago." Minju's lips twitched upward. "That far?" Alex gave a tired laugh. "Feels like another planet." Minju tilted her head. "You okay?" Alex hesitated. Then he whispered, "I miss home." Minju met his eyes. "I know," she said. "It shows." Alex blinked back sudden tears. He had expected pity, or distance. But Minju didn't look away. She just stayed, quietly, gently, completely present. Over the next few days, Minju visited more often than she should have. She brought him books to read. She played soft music through her phone. She spoke Korean first, then slowly switched to English, practicing with him. They started with simple words. Hospital, doctor, friend. Alex repeated them softly, stumbling over pronunciation. Minju corrected him with patience. Not frustration, not annoyance, just care. One afternoon, as rain tapped against the window, Alex finally asked the question burning inside him. "Why do you keep coming back?" Minju raised an eyebrow. "You make me feel less alone," he admitted. "But I don't want to be a burden." Minju set down her teacup. "You're not," she said simply. Alex looked down. "But we don't even speak the same language." Minju chuckled. "We learning," she said. "That enough." She reached for his hand gently. "I see something in you," she added. "Like me." Alex frowned slightly. "What do you mean?" Minju smiled faintly. "I know what it's like to feel lost," she said. "Even when you look strong." Alex swallowed hard. Minju continued, voice steady. "You not alone now," she whispered. "I hear." And somehow those words meant more than any medical chart. Because for the first time since arriving in Korea, Alex believed he was seen, not just as a patient, not just as a foreigner, but as a person, and maybe, just maybe, as someone worth knowing. After discharge, Alex found himself struggling again. The hospital had felt like a safe space, full of care, quiet conversations, and Minju's steady presence. But now he was back in his small apartment, back to silence, back to isolation. One evening, overwhelmed by loneliness, he did something he hadn't done before. He called her. Minju answered on the second ring. "Hey," she said gently. "You okay?" Alex let out a shaky breath. "I don't know," he admitted. I miss talking to you." There was a pause. Then Minju whispered, "I hear." And just like that, she stayed on the line for hours, listening as Alex talked about how hard it was to adjust, about how much he missed home, about how strange it felt to be so far from everything familiar. She didn't offer solutions. She just listened. And somehow that made all the difference. Weeks passed. Alex kept calling. Sometimes just to say hello. Sometimes when he needed advice. Sometimes when he wanted to share something good. Minju began looking forward to his calls, even if she told herself not to. She knew the rules. Doctors weren't supposed to get close to former patients. But with Alex, it wasn't about duty anymore. It was about connection. Real connection. Not romantic. Not yet. Just human. One night, Alex finally asked her something he had been curious about since their first conversation. "What made you become a doctor?" Minju hesitated, then answered honestly. "To help people," she said, "even when they feel broken." Alex tilted his head. "You ever feel broken?" Minju smiled slightly. "All the time," she admitted. "But I keep going." Alex studied her face. "That's what I want," he said quietly. "To keep going, even when it feels heavy." Minju reached over and gently squeezed his hand. "You not alone," she whispered. "Not anymore." Alex swallowed hard. Then he asked, "Why me?" Minju blinked. "What do you mean?" Alex met her eyes. "I'm just some guy who got sick," he said. "Why do you care so much?" Minju looked at him carefully. "Because I see you," she said, "like no one else does." Alex felt tears sting his eyes. Minju continued, voice soft but firm. "You remind me of someone I used to know," she added. "My brother, when he was young, always chasing dreams, always lost." Alex gave a small laugh. "And now?" he asked. Minju smiled faintly. "Now you making your own way," she said. "And I glad I part of it." Alex stared at her. For the first time in a long time, he didn't feel invisible. He felt seen. Their bond grew stronger outside the hospital walls. Minju started meeting Alex for walks through the city, teaching him Korean phrases, showing him hidden places only locals knew. They sat together at small cafes, sipping tea and practicing English. Alex learned how to say, "Thank you. How are you? I'm starting to feel like I belong." Minju watched him closely, and slowly, she saw something shift in him. He stood taller, smiled more, spoke with confidence, even if broken. One afternoon, while walking through a quiet park, Alex turned to her. "I never thought I'd meet someone like you," he said. Minju raised an eyebrow. "What kind of person am I?" Alex smiled slightly. "The kind who listens without judging," he said. "Who sees me without needing to fix me." Minju chuckled softly. "You still patient?" she teased gently. Alex shook his head. "No," he said. "I'm not." He looked at her carefully. "But I'm learning how to befriend." Minju met his eyes. "I think I'm learning too," she admitted. And somehow that changed everything. Because now they weren't just doctor and patient. They were two people healing together. Alex began calling Minju more often, not just when he was struggling, but when he wanted to share something good. He learned new Korean phrases. He found a small bookstore that sold English novels. He even tried cooking Korean food and sent her a photo of his attempt. Minju laughed when she saw it. "You try hard," she said during their next meeting. Alex gave a small smile. I want to understand your world. Minju studied him carefully. Then she whispered, you already part of it. And somehow those words meant more than he expected. One night, after work, Alex met Minju at the hospital clinic for tea. They sat in the quiet break room, sipping from small cups as rain tapped gently against the window. I had a rough day, Alex admitted. Minju raised an eyebrow. Why? Alex looked down at his hands. Someone asked me why I moved here, he said. I told them, for a fresh start. Minju nodded slowly. But you didn't feel like it was enough. Alex blinked back tears. No, he whispered. It wasn't. Minju reached over and touched his hand. You're not wrong for needing change, she said gently. Sometimes people scared because they don't understand what it means. Alex met her eyes. What does it mean? He asked. Minju smiled slightly. That you still learning who you are, she said. Even if far from home. Alex let out a shaky breath. I used to think I'd be alone forever, he admitted. Like maybe I deserved it. Minju's expression softened. You don't, she said firmly. No one does. She squeezed his fingers gently. And you not alone now. Alex swallowed hard. Then he whispered, thank you. Minju tilted her head. For what? For staying, he said. For seeing me. Minju gave a warm, knowing look. I think I needed someone too, she admitted. Alex frowned slightly. You were always surrounded by people, he said. Patients. Nurses. Your brother. Minju exhaled softly. But no one really stayed. There was a pause. Then she added, until you. Alex felt something shift inside him. Not love yet, but understanding. And maybe hope. Over time, their late-night calls became routine. Minju would answer without hesitation, even if it was past midnight. One evening, Alex called with a soft voice. I just needed to hear someone. Minju didn't ask why. She just said, I hear. And for a long time they talked. About homesickness. About fear. About how hard it was to grow into yourself in a place where everything felt unfamiliar. Then Minju whispered something that changed everything. I know what it's like, she said, to feel like no one stays. Alex looked at her. You've been alone too. Minju gave a small nod. For a long time, she admitted. Now I not so much. Alex smiled faintly. Me neither. And in that moment, they both realized something. They weren't just helping each other learn language. They were helping each other heal. The first time Alex met Minju outside the hospital, it was unplanned. She had sent him a message. You free tonight? I want to show you something. Alex blinked at his phone, surprised by the invitation. He replied quickly. Where? They met at a small cafe near the river. Minju sat at a corner table, sipping tea and watching the lights reflect off the water. When Alex arrived, she smiled slightly. You came. Alex sat across from her. I didn't think you'd ask me to, he admitted. Minju studied his face. You not just patient anymore, she said quietly. You friend. Alex felt warmth in his chest. Then he asked, is that allowed? Minju tilted her head. What do you mean? To be friends with former patient, Alex clarified. Minju gave a small smile. In real life, yes, she said. In hospital? Not always. Alex swallowed hard. People talk. Minju nodded. A little, she admitted. But I not let rules stop me from caring. Alex looked at her carefully. That's why I like being around you, he said. You don't pretend things are easy. You just stay. Minju reached for his hand. And I not going anywhere. Soon they started meeting more often. Walks through the city, shared dinners, late-night talks over coffee. Minju showed him hidden places only locals knew. Alex took her to small American diners that had opened in Seoul, teaching her phrases and foods she never tried before. And slowly their bond changed. It wasn't just friendship. It was connection. Something deeper. Something harder to name. At work, Minju noticed the whispers. A nurse avoided eye contact. A colleague raised an eyebrow when she mentioned spending time with Alex. And one afternoon, Mr. Kim, the hospital director, called her into his office. "I've heard some things," he said carefully. Minju crossed her arms. "About what?" He hesitated, then said, "Your relationship with Mr. Rivera." Minju kept her expression calm. "He's not my patient anymore," she said. "We just talking." Mr. Kim studied her. "I know you're kind," he said, "but sometimes kindness crosses lines people weren't meant to cross." Minju looked away. Then she whispered, "I'm not hurting anyone." Mr. Kim gave a small nod. "I hope not," he said, "because people notice." Minju left the office without another word. But inside something stirred. Not fear, not guilt, just truth. She was breaking unspoken rules. And she didn't care. Because this wasn't about protocol. This was about healing, about presence, about finding someone who made her feel less alone. That night, Alex met her on her porch. She looked tired. He frowned. "Everything okay?" Minju exhaled slowly. "They say I shouldn't spend so much time with you." Alex stiffened. "You mean the hospital?" Minju nodded. "They call it inappropriate," she said. "Unprofessional." Alex swallowed hard. "Did you tell them it wasn't?" Minju looked at him. "No," she admitted. "Because I'm not sure how to explain what this is." Alex met her eyes. "But you still want to see me?" Minju gave a small, honest smile. "Yes," she whispered. "I do." Alex leaned closer. "Then maybe that's all we need to know." Minju studied his face. Then she whispered, "You make me feel like I still have heart." Alex smiled gently. "You already did that for me." And somehow that made everything feel lighter. Because even if the world questioned them, they understood each other. And that was enough. For now, one evening, they sat on a quiet bench near the river. The sky was painted in soft colors, pink, orange, and fading into night. Minju looked at Alex carefully. "You change me," she said quietly. Alex blinked. "What do you mean?" Minju exhaled slowly. "I used to live life like I not enough," she admitted. "Like I only matter when I work." She turned toward him. "But now," she whispered, "I feel like I still belong somewhere." Alex swallowed hard. "With me?" he asked. Minju gave a small nod. "Yes." And somehow that changed everything. Because for the first time they both understood. They weren't just friends. They were something more. But neither knew how to name it yet. A few days later, Minju called him late at night. Alex answered immediately. "You okay?" he asked. There was a pause. Then Minju spoke softly. "I think I afraid," she whispered. Alex frowned. "Afraid of what?" Minju hesitated, then said, "Of this." Alex waited. Finally, she continued. "I don't know what we doing," she admitted. "But I know I'm not ready to stop." Alex felt warmth spread through his chest. He whispered, "Me either." Minju let out a shaky breath. "That make me weak," she said. "Or foolish." Alex shook his head. "No," he said gently. "It makes us human." Minju studied his face. Then she whispered, "You remind me of what love feel like." Alex's heart pounded. He didn't say anything at first, just held her gaze. Then he reached for her hand. "And you remind me of home." Minju blinked back sudden tears. She squeezed his fingers. "I miss touch," she said. "Not just hand-holding, but real connection." Alex met her eyes. "I know," he whispered, "because I miss it too." The whispers grew louder. At the hospital, Minju noticed how people watched her now. Not just with curiosity, but with something colder. Judgment. One afternoon, a nurse approached her in the break room. "Dr. Park," she said carefully, "people are talking." Minju raised an eyebrow. "About what?" The nurse hesitated. "About you and Mr. Rivera," she admitted. "They say it's inappropriate." Minju didn't flinch. "He not my patient anymore," she said firmly. The nurse gave a small nod. "But he was," she whispered. And people don't forget that. Minju exhaled slowly. I'm not hiding anything, she said. We just care about each other. The nurse looked at her for a long moment. Then she gave a small smile. Love doesn't always follow rules, she said quietly. But sometimes, it's still worth fighting for. Minju met her eyes. It is, she whispered, even if no one understand. Back home, Jihoon sat on the couch when Minju walked in. He studied her face. You different, he said. Minju raised an eyebrow. In what way? Jihoon tilted his head. You smile more, he said. You laugh like you used to. Minju sat beside him. And you think that bad? She asked. Jihoon shook his head. No, he said. I just want to make sure you're okay. Minju smiled slightly. I am, she admitted. More than I've been in long time. Jihoon nodded. Then he asked, Is it serious? Minju looked away. I don't know, she whispered. Jihoon reached for her hand. If you happy, he said gently. Then let yourself be. Minju blinked back tears. Thank you, she whispered. Alex faced judgment too. From coworkers, from friends, even from Lena, his sister back in Chicago. She called him late one night. Hey, stranger, she teased. Alex chuckled. What's up? Lena hesitated. I heard something, she said carefully, about you and your doctor. Alex stiffened. What did you hear? That you too close, Lena said. That she's older. That people talk. Alex swallowed hard. She makes me feel seen, he admitted. Like I matter. Lena was quiet for a moment. Then she said, If she makes you happy, then I'm happy for you. Alex felt relief flood through him. Thanks, sis. Lena sighed. But just promise me you'll be careful, she added. Because people might not get it. But you need to believe in this. Alex nodded. I do, he whispered. I really do. They stopped pretending. Not out loud. Not with grand declarations or dramatic confessions. But in small ways. In the way Alex held her hand as they walked through the city. In the way Minju leaned into him during quiet moments. In the way they shared silence like it was a language of its own. One evening, after dinner at a small Korean restaurant, Alex turned to her. You still think we making mistake? He asked gently. Minju studied his face. No, she whispered. I think we doing something brave. Alex smiled faintly. Brave? He teased. You make it sound dangerous. Minju gave a small laugh. It is, she said. Love across age, across culture. It not simple. She looked at him carefully. But I think worth it. Alex's chest tightened slightly. He reached for her fingers. I don't care what people say, he admitted. Because this feels real. Minju met his eyes. And that scare you? Alex shook his head. No, he said. It makes me feel alive. Minju smiled, not just with her lips, with her heart. And somehow that moment changed everything. Because now they weren't hiding. They were choosing each other. Quietly, firmly, powerfully. Over time, their bond deepened. They talked about past relationships, about heartbreaks, about how hard it was to believe in love again. One night, Alex asked her something that had been on his mind for weeks. You ever thought about leaving Korea? He asked. Minju blinked. You thinking about going home? Alex nodded. My job here is temporary, he said. And I don't know if I want to stay forever. Minju stayed quiet for a long moment. Then she whispered, What if I come with you? Alex looked surprised. You serious? Minju gave a small smile. I never let myself dream before, she admitted. But now, I want follow my heart. Alex squeezed her hand gently. I want that too. And suddenly the future felt less scary. Because now they had a plan. Not perfect, but together. The next day, Jihoon found them walking through the park. He raised an eyebrow. You two look different. Minju gave a small smile. We not hiding anymore, she said. Jihoon studied them both. Then he asked, Do you really think this work? Alex met his gaze. I don't know, he admitted. But I know I want to try. Jihoon looked at his sister. Then he gave a warm nod. If he make you happy, he said, then I not stopping you. Minju hugged him tightly. Thank you, she whispered. Jihoon kissed the top of her head. You deserve love, he said, even if it come from unexpected place. Back at the hospital, Mr. Kim pulled Minju aside. You still seeing him? He asked. Minju didn't hesitate. Yes, she said, because he matter. Mr. Kim sighed. I hope you know what you're doing, he said. Minju gave a small, firm nod. I do. And she did. Because love wasn't about fitting into someone else's idea of normal. It was about finding someone who made your truth feel okay. And Alex? He made hers feel beautiful. Minju sat across from her mother at a small kitchen table in her childhood home. The smell of warm soup filled the air. Something comforting, something familiar. Her mother looked at her carefully. You seem different, she said gently. Happier. Minju gave a small smile. I met someone, she admitted. Her mother raised an eyebrow. A man? Minju nodded. Then added, he not Korean. Her mother blinked. Foreign? Minju swallowed hard. Yes, she whispered. American. There was a pause. Then her mother asked, how old is he? Minju hesitated. 27. Her mother didn't react the way Minju feared. She didn't yell. She didn't judge. Instead, she reached for Minju's hand. You been alone long time, her mother said. If he make you happy, that all matter. Minju felt tears well up. I miss him when I not with him, she admitted. Her mother smiled slightly. That mean love, she said, even if it come late. Minju leaned into her mother's touch. And for the first time in years, she felt supported. Not just by a partner, but by family. Alex called his sister again, nervous but ready. Lena answered on the second ring. Well, look who finally remembered me, she teased. Alex chuckled. Then he took a deep breath. I have something to tell you. Lena frowned. What's wrong? Alex hesitated, then said, I think I'm falling for someone. There was silence. Then Lena whispered, is this serious? Alex nodded, even though she couldn't see him. She's older, he admitted. And she's from Korea. Lena let out a slow breath. You're really into her, huh? Alex smiled faintly. I don't know how to explain it, he said. But she makes me feel like I belong. Lena gave a soft laugh. I'm glad, she said. Because you deserve that. Alex blinked back sudden tears. Even if people don't understand us? Lena shrugged through the phone line. Since when do we care about what people say? She asked. Alex exhaled. Thanks, sis. Lena smiled. You're welcome, she said. Now tell me everything. And for the first time in a long time, Alex did. He told her about Minju, about how she listened more than she spoke, about how she showed up when he needed her most, about how she made him believe in love again. And Lena didn't stop him. She just listened. Then she said, if she makes you feel seen, then hold on to her. The decision came like a storm. Sudden, powerful, impossible to ignore. Alex received the email while sitting at his desk in the small apartment he had once called temporary. We're pleased to offer you a permanent teaching position back in Chicago. His heart pounded as he read it again. This was what he had been waiting for. A chance to return home. A better job. A fresh start. But as excitement faded, reality settled in. What about Minju? Would this mean leaving her behind? Forever? He stared at the screen long after the glow dimmed. Then he closed his laptop and sat in silence. Because somehow, going back didn't feel like going home anymore. That night, Alex met Minju on her porch. She looked tired, eyes soft with thought. He took a deep breath. I got an offer, he said quietly. Minju raised an eyebrow. To go back. Alex nodded slowly. Minju didn't speak right away. Then she whispered, you should take it. Alex frowned. What? Minju gave a small, sad smile. You deserve happiness, she said. Even if it far from me. Alex's chest tightened. He reached for her hand. But I don't want to leave you. Minju studied his face. You not have to choose tonight, she said. Just know, I not holding you back. Alex shook his head. I don't want to go, he admitted. Not without knowing where we stand. Minju looked down at their joined hands. Then she whispered, I afraid too. Alex leaned closer. Afraid of what? Minju met his eyes. That this end, she said. That love not enough. Alex squeezed her fingers gently. It is, he said. It has to be. Days passed. Alex couldn't stop thinking about it. One afternoon, he showed up at the hospital clinic. Minju stepped outside. You okay? She asked. Alex hesitated, then said, I don't know what to do. Minju tilted her head. You want go back? Alex swallowed hard. Yes, he admitted. But only if you come with me. Minju blinked. You serious? Alex nodded. They offered me a place at the same school where I worked before, he said. I can help them find a position for you too. Minju stayed quiet. Then she whispered, You not just patient anymore. Alex smiled slightly. No, he said. I'm not. Minju exhaled. I never let myself dream of leaving Korea, she admitted. But now, she looked into his eyes. I think I ready. Alex felt warmth spread through his chest. So, you'll come? Minju gave a small nod. Yes, she whispered. If you still want me. Alex pulled her into his arms. I always will. The night before Alex's flight, Minju showed up at his apartment. She stood in the doorway, rain clinging to her coat, eyes searching his face. Alex opened the door wider. You not sleeping? He asked gently. Minju shook her head. I couldn't leave without seeing you, she admitted. Alex stepped aside. She walked in and looked around. The space that had once felt foreign to her now held pieces of them. Photos, books, notes written in both English and Korean. Memories they hadn't meant to make, but did anyway. They sat on the couch, close but not touching. Alex turned to her. I don't know how to say this, he whispered. Minju met his eyes. Say it. He swallowed hard. I want you to stay with me, he said. Not just tonight. Not just for a while. Minju blinked back sudden tears. Alex reached for her hand. I was supposed to come here and go back home, he said. But now, I think my home is wherever you are. Minju squeezed his fingers. I feel same way, she whispered. Like I not whole when you gone. Alex gave a small, hopeful smile. So, what do we do? Minju exhaled slowly. We take step forward, she said. Together. The next morning, Alex canceled his solo ticket. Instead, he booked 2 seats. One for him, one for Minju. As they passed through security, she looked at him. You ready? She asked. Alex smiled. For first time in life, he said. I am. They boarded the plane side by side. No regrets, no hesitation, just trust and love. Because sometimes home isn't a place. Sometimes it's a person. And for both of them, that person was standing right beside them.